Guys, this is Dr. Callahan with week 7 Thursday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions under week 7 Thursday of your warm-up log. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to go over questions number 241 to 250. You should have this in your folder. Here are the first 5 questions we're going to go over. This is 241. Go ahead and read the question. All right, so looking at this, we are looking at Becky, and we're going to create a graph representing her distance away from home one afternoon. So this right here is a distance, this is a time, and this is her home. So she's left home and ran to the park. So obviously, if she's going to the park, the distance obviously away from home is going to go up. And as such, it's also moving over with time because it takes time for her to run to the park. Then she met some friends and stayed at the park. The key word here is stayed. So there is no movement. Okay, but time is moving because when she's spending time with her friends at the park, it might be 30 minutes or something, but the distance wise, she's not moving. She's at the park and she's staying still. And then she walked back home with the same route. So here we go. She's now moving again. And so now she's back at home. So which one represents the diagram in terms of her movement with Becky? It will have to be A as in apple. All right, take a moment and read question number 242. We actually did this one. This was actually a repeat of one that we've done before with Ray and drinking water. So this is what happens. At the beginning of the practice, he fills his water jug. So this right here is water in terms of quarts, and this is time. So we start right there. So what it says basically is he fills his water jug. So when he's filling up his water jug, it's going all the way up over to 15 quart. Okay. Then halfway through the practice, the team took a water break. And so when they're taking a water break, the water is not going to increase or decrease because they're, exercising and during the practice. But then when they took the water break, this is when they're drinking the water. So obviously the water goes down. When he filled the water jug, it goes up. So now it's going down right here while he's drinking the water. And then after the break, Ray filled the water jug again and he filled it. So the water's going up again. And so at this time, it's at 14 quart. He filled it so the players could have water after practice. So they're continuing the practice. So no water is being drunk, I should say. And then at the end of the practice, which is right here, Ray drained the drug. So it goes from 14 quart all the way to 0. So D as in dog will be the correct answer. 243. Take a moment and read the question. It says this mapping draws a functional relationship. Functional relationship means that for every x value, there is exactly one value, and there is no repeat when it comes to the x-axis or the x value. So this is saying f of x equals 4. So y equals 4. What is x equal? Well, range is the y value. So when y is 4, what is x? It will be 2. So B as in boy. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the next one, 244. So this one's saying x equals -1. What is y? Well, looking at your chart, here's your x. When x equals -1, what is the y? It is at 0. So C as in cat is the correct answer. All right, 245. So for this one, it is saying what is a statement, which statement is true about the in behavior? In behavior are the endpoints right here. So as you look at this, The correct answer here is D, but let's go ahead and try to figure out why it is the correct answer. So as the x value goes to the negative infinity, which means it's going this way, this is negative infinity. What do you notice about the y value? The y value in this situation, the y value is actually, so as x is going to negative infinity, y is going, do you see how it's going up? So it's going to positive infinity. So it has to be D as in dog. Okay, you guys go ahead and take about a 5-minute break to answer the exit ticket for today. And when you are done, you can go ahead and unfreeze this video and then just continue on with the next 5 questions. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at questions numbers 6 to 10. So this is the last part of what we have. So flip your paper over to the back. And let's go ahead and take a look at question number 246. So which statement is true about the graph of f of x? So what it's asking you is, it's asking you about the y value. And if you take a look at this, the correct answer is B. So why is it B? This is saying y is greater than 0. So greater than 0 means that your graph is going to be above the x-axis over here. And so because at the x-axis, this is y equals 0. And so f of x is greater than 0 over the interval of negative infinity. If you look at negative infinity, this is negative infinity. And is it above the x-axis? It is. And it stops at, however, negative 2.5 because it's only above the x-axis from here to 2.5. And this is negative 2.5. And then from negative 1.75, which is right here, all the way over to positive 0.75. So that's still positive. And that's why B is the correct answer. All right, let's take a look at this. So a retailer charges a flat fee of $5 and then of course 75 cents per quarter pounds. Okay, so if we're going to say X is going to be per quarter pounds, then Bailey pays $9.50 to have items shipped from the retailer. What is the weight of the item? So our goal here is to figure out what X is equal to. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. Bring down to 0.75. And then next, divided by 0.75. So take a moment. What is 4 divided by 0.75? And whatever you get from here, that is the correct answer. And actually, when you go ahead and divide this, it's a little bit tricky because it's not going to give you a 1.5. And instead, what's actually going to give you is a number. Now, that number is going to be per quarter pound or 1/4 of a pound. So this answer is per pound. So take that number, multiply by 4 because you want to reverse the quarter pounds with a pound, and you should get 1.5. And that is your answer. 248, which is true about the domain and range of the function. So the domain stays the same. Okay, so if you look at the domain here, the domain is left and right, but the range changes. And the reason why it changes is it's asking to reflect this over the x-axis. So if you can imagine, this yellow line is the x-axis. I'm just going to take this graph and flip it over that. So if I were to flip that over, what ends up happening is I start off with this point. That point's new location will be here, and it looks something like that. So left to right is not going to be changing. It's exactly the same. But what does change is that this point moves downward. So the range, which is the y value, does change because it shifts down. But the domain, which is this side and this side, it stays exactly the same. All right, so go ahead, take a look at this one here. What is a range? So it's asking for the y values of this. So looking at this, where does this graph start? It starts at 0. And does it ever stop moving downward? No, it goes all the way to negative infinity. So the range for this will be from negative infinity to 0, or all real numbers that's less or equal to 0, which is B as in boy. All right, last one, you guys. Tariq began to solve the equation. So this is what he did. And it looks like he subtracted the 50, which is correct. And then that cancels. Then this becomes negative 240. And it says to finish, which factor must Tariq use? If you want to get rid of that 2, what's opposite of a times 2? It's divide. So it is 1/2, which is C as in cat. All right, you guys, you pretty much finished all of the questions that you need to complete for today. And just keep in mind that today is Thursday, week 7. I will see you guys next time for week 7, Friday, and we will continue on with 251 to 260. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Take care.